Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Blacktop Banter. This is episode 58, and we have our first ever three-peat guest on here today, and becoming a show regular and becoming a really good friend of mine. We talk fairly often, which I'm grateful for. And he drives the number 12 Young's Motorsports Chevy in the NASCAR. It's Camping World Truck Series. Isn't that right?
That's right, man.
All right, man. So who are you?
Man, hearing that never gets old. Never thought I'd be here for sure. But yeah, Spencer Boyd, I live in North Carolina. I race in NASCAR. If you're familiar with NASCAR, I race in the Truck Series, which is everyone's favorite, hopefully.
Oh yeah.
Uh, we typically race on Fox Sports on Friday night, and I'm out there duking it out with the boys, and there's some girls out there racing too. So that's getting real interesting out there.
Dude, it's been physical this year, hadn't it? It's everybody is racing tight and hard, dude. I'm like, every time my breath, I'm like, I got asthma anyways, and I'm hitting that inhaler 4 or 5 times, dude, during your races. Like, people want it this year, dude, and they're fighting for it. It's scary out there, but it's exciting too.
It's tough, man. You got 36 spots available every weekend, and you got 40 to 45 people showing up every week. So just practice and qualifying is a knockdown drag out. And then when you get in the race, if someone lays the bumper to you the wrong way, emotions get high, and we're all wanting to fight each other. I'm like, is this like mini UFC? And
I
none of
know.
us look like UFC fighters.
Dude, it's getting intense. It's been exciting, and we kicked off with a killer one in Daytona. I know I messaged you right afterwards, dude, and I was like, how did you make it through that? Like, everybody else ditched and went everywhere, and all of a sudden the dude, it was just like a movie. Spence comes through the smoke like almost unscathed. I was like, oh my god, man. And I remember I was texting your dad, and I was like, dude, how did he do it? And he's like, I have no idea, man, but we're so glad he made it through that pile. That's just crazy, dude. It's a great way to start the season off exciting like that. And it set the tone, I think, for the season this year so far, right?
Yeah, I mean, Daytona, it's different than most sports. You know, Daytona is our Super Bowl, and that's the first one of the year. So it's a big one to kind of get out of the gate running and try and get your boys. Typically you got a new team, much like myself driving the 12 this year. So you're just trying to get everyone a good run, kick
Yep.
off on the right foot, and hammer down. Like you said, it definitely rolls over because you start racing, week to week to week. So it's nice to start off with some positives.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, what ends up happening is it sets the tone. You kind of get, that was a weird race anyways, because the caution made it almost anybody's game there at the end, and we kept resetting. And I was like, dude, who is going to end up where in that race? And it was just like, it was anybody's game. So it was really good to hold out to that to the end. You know, dude, you got some staying power this year. Dude, you've been around, you've been moving on up, you're a staple there. I want to real quick get your opinion on something, because we got like a staple, I guess, in our culture now, and it's Elon Musk, dude. Did you see that today? He just bought Twitter, like they approved it.
Wild, man.
Dude, it's crazy.
A guy, I'm 26, so that's a name I've heard, all through high school and, college. And you're like, man, this guy's like a powerhouse mover. So it's going to be exciting to see what happens out there. I know we're all like wondering what's going to be next, but everything he touches is like wildfire.
I know, man. And it's like, whatever yeah, you're right. What he touches with is wildfire, and it like succeeds. So Twitter's like already in some people's minds a success. Like, what is he gonna do with this, dude? $44 billion to buy this out, and he's like, I think I can run it how it really is supposed to be ran. And it's like, dude, what is this guy gonna do?
And we're all like, what does that mean? What does
Oh
I'm
yeah.
going to run it? And that's an unknown, which a lot of people get uncomfortable about that. But you got to remember, every great idea started with somebody coming up with something that most people thought was probably crazy.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. Any documentary you watch on what he does, people are just like, what? You're gonna bring a rocket back down and land a rocket so we save it? And the dude does it. And then it's all electric vehicles. I've seen his Tesla dance to like the Nutcracker Suite song at Christmas. Like they
Yeah.
program it to dance and stuff. And I'm like, dude, with Twitter, what is this guy gonna do? And like you said, I'm sure it scares some people, but it excites some people too. Like, I can't, dude, I can't relate to Warren Buffett. Like I got him super credit, genius, great guy, but Elon, that's our dude. Like that's our, like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, this guy's got it.
for
You
sure.
know.
He's definitely got the vision of pushing things to the limits, and it's going to be exciting. And then if it is a rocket, we all want to jump on.
Yeah, I know. I'd go to space, dude. I'd go to outer space and come back once just to see what it was like. I know you would, dude. That's you made for speed, right? Like
Right?
Pushing it to the limit. That's what you do all the time, man.
100%.
So let's talk about what's up with you lately, man. You texted me a while back and said I got a new house.
Yeah, man. So I'm pumped. I'm from St. Louis, but I've lived in North Carolina for 12 years now, pretty much my whole like adult life, and basically moved 5 miles away from the race shop. But I was living above the race shop. So last time I was on here, I was like flipping the camera. I'm like, check it out. There's race trucks down there.
They're wrapping my truck. Yeah, they're wrapping my truck.
Yeah, I'm like, there's no race trucks. Check this out. It's just like your life continues, and you kind of you know, things change, and you get excited about it. And this is a step. And it's funny, like so many people love racing and are like, man, we'd love to like do what you do. And then I'm like, well, never had a house before. Like, you know, it's just like I'm over here doing my own thing, and there's a lot of my buddies that are, you know, hitting the typical task, and I'm like, oh man, I should probably go back and do that real quick.
Yeah, like, dude, that's where I'm inexperienced. That I don't have a house or anything like that. Like, yeah, you think it's cool, but it would be cool kind of to like, you know, not wear full clothes all the time if I had to, you know what I mean? Or like just hang out maybe a little bit, something like that. Mow my grass. Does anything, dude.
I got a lawnmower now.
Yeah, I imagine your lawnmower is maxed out, dude. I imagine you're just gonna get in there, twist that governor up a little bit, and be like, all right.
I got this Spartan full lawnmower.
Oh, do you the big one?
0 turn, yeah.
Dude, don't they look like assault vehicles? Those Spartan ones, dude. They're badass.
It's awesome.
Dude, when I went to the GIE Expo in Louisville, and they had Gatling guns mounted on the side of the one Spartan, dude, for like, you know, for the booth for display and stuff, and it fit it. Like you were like, oh, that's got to be an attachment. Like, yeah, I'll take that option. How much is it? Yeah,
that's gonna be in the next Transformers movie.
That's right, be in the next Transformers movie for sure. So congratulations, like I said, I always say that, on the house, and you're on a break a little bit, which gives us a break here. Timing was perfect for that. I know we've been talking about it and it worked out well. The last race, right? That's the wild one. Tell us about the last race.
Well, Bristol on dirt, man. Wild race. Bristol in general, half-mile high bank, 30-something degrees, really fast, 16-second lap times. So, I mean, you go really quick down the straightaway, and then in the center of the corner, it just like sucks you through the car. And then you're like, oh, catch your breath. And everyone jokes around, like, hey, you got to remember to breathe. Yeah. So they take this intense track and they're like, let's put dirt on it and make it take 20 seconds to go around. Yeah. Which feels like eternity, because you show up and you're like, oh, it's Bristol. Then you're like, oh, it's on dirt. It's got a little less banking. And now we're going to be sideways. Oh, yeah. So I'm not used to looking out the right side of the window. I know that, but I know I commented on one of your posts, like sometimes you got to go left to go, or you got to go right to go left. And you're like, yeah, damn right you do. I seen that because your truck was coming in like this sideways with the wheels turning, coming around. It must have been turn 4. It was coming around like that. And I was like, dude, this is going to get wild again, which it was wild last year. And it's always wild to see it because, like you said, it's an intense little track to begin with. And now we're going to get everybody slipping and sliding a little bit, you know. That's what's crazy. And like the dirt picks up rubber and you're like, how does this even make sense? And, you know, dirt guys use like totally different terminology. You know, they're like, oh, you got to chase the moisture. And I'm like, man, when I race, I'm praying that it don't freaking rain. Like, what do you mean chase the moisture? So a lot of new terms now that NASCAR races 2 races a year on dirt. Yep. It's not a lot, but it's enough to say, hey, every race pays the same amount of points. So you gotta try and be best prepared for every event.
Well, you know, I know last time we were talking about it, I was asking you, like, is there stuff they're just going to peel off the windshield? Like, I know that you did last time, right? And then you do normally anyways with the rubber and everything else and the bugs and whatnot. But how many more do you go through, like on the dirt? Like, or how did that even work?
Yeah, so we call them a tear off. Yeah. And basically the front windshield, you know, in NASCAR, you got a full windshield. And you have a tear off all the way across. So guy jumps over the wall, rips it from like the driver, like up here, and rips it down. And it's like, boom, brand new window. So you love it and you can see everything clear and it's like, this is perfect. Well, on dirt, you want it like every 5 laps. You're like,
Yeah.
we need another tear off. So last year they had the full tear offs and you just couldn't keep up. Like everyone was running out of them, and then you're just smearing it with Windex and like every pit stop. This year they started doing just the driver window. So you have like 3 that go all the way across, and then like 6 that are just like this half. Yep. So basically you could just get one every pit stop.
Dang, that's wild, dude. So what did you do? Like what was your go-to if like it was caked and you couldn't see? Like where were you picking out little spots in there and leaning, trying to find them, like to see where you could see through?
I mean, you're like locked in here and your head can't really move side to side much, and you're like, okay, like third spot, and you're looking, and basically you're like looking out the left side of the window when you flick it into the corner, and you're like, okay, like I got it pointed, I see the corner down here. And then you're looking out the right side window, like, okay, like that's where the outside wall is. And then at the same time, your spotter is in the radio, like there's a guy 2 back outside, 1 back outside, and you're like, I can't see shit. Like, I know. So then you hear it get real loud, and you're like, we're either like we look badass right now, or this is gonna be expensive.
Or this is gonna be rough real quick. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. So when I think about that, like, are they going to? It looks like it's here to stay. Is that right? Like they enjoy that it's throwing a kink into everything, and it's fun to watch. It's exciting, and people are looking forward to it every year, it seems like. So I'm guessing those races that are dirt are here to stay.
I think so, because they put out a report. There's been 650 NASCAR truck races ever, and that was ranked number 7 for TV viewership.
That's crazy, dude. Isn't that wild, dude?
2 million viewers, super big event. 60,000 people at the racetrack. So I think it's here to stay, but hopefully the windshields aren't. When we go on dirt, I'd love for them to just do like a chicken wire screen. Yeah. And then have the tear off on your visor, like real dirt racers. Yeah. Would be a lot easier.
Yeah. Then you could actually do it, have as many as you wanted to on top of the screen too. That'd be kind of nice, I guess. So let's talk about the truck this year, dude, because Rim Time's been on there. Like they've been on there, and then I seen that they were on there, and then I seen that they were on there. So Rim Time's been stepping up. Those guys are pretty cool. I was actually down in that neck of the woods at North Carolina while we couldn't connect really. MPE will be back there next year, so we'll be there. I went to the NASCAR Hall of Fame and stuff, dude. Super inviting. I love the downtown. That convention center being connected to the Hall of Fame was perfect. Yeah. It was epic. So when we're talking about the truck and the Rim Time, which, like I said, I got to get down and see those guys when I'm down there. I really want to talk about the Wallace theme, dude, the retro. It makes me feel like we're in the 80s, dude. That's where I'm from. You know, born in the 80s.
Michael Waltrip is our Hawaiian Punch throwback.
Yeah, scheme. That's right. Michael Waltrip. My bad. I said Wallace. Yeah, Michael Waltrip. My bad.
Wallace, big name in racing.
Oh, don't get me wrong. That would be a cool throwback as well. But Michael Waltrip is what I meant to say. Yeah.
Waltrip. So funny story how all that happened. Rim Time, like you said, stepped up, been a huge partner of mine this year. 40 locations, wheel and tires nationwide. So really cool group of people. They're actually owned by Rent-A-Center. Okay. And Rent-A-Center is like the competitor to Mike Waltrip's old sponsor, Aaron's. So Michael and I are buddies, and I'm like, hey, like, let's do a throwback to Michael Waltrip and Aaron's, and they're like, well, can't really do Aaron's because we're competitors. And I'm like, oh yeah.
Well, then we ain't gonna be able to do that one.
Guess we can't do that. I'm like, well, hold on, let me look at some other paint schemes. And his first ever Cup start was in the Hawaiian Punch car, and pretty iconic. And Michael and I, we grabbed dinner, hung out. He's an announcer in the Truck Series now, and thought, man, this could be cool to have him something extra to talk about. And the Rim Time colors are kind of like that orange, red, blue. Like so perfect.
Click perfectly. Dude, I remember when they had the Aaron's 499, the race. It was the Aaron's 499. And I remember Michael Waltrip, he had a commercial said, Aaron's got things $499. And it was like, that worked out perfectly that they marketed that way to have the Aaron's 499. And his commercial was, they got things $499. And I was like, dude, that's the greatest marketing ever. That and it still sticks in my brain, dude. I was a teenager when that happened. So Kudos. And he did a great job doing it too, as well. He's always been really good on the microphone. That's for sure, dude. So
he's great on TV and recognizable guy. So it's cool that, you know, the older drivers have become announcers, because most of us looked up to, you know, one of those guys at some point. So you're like, man, I remember, you know, watching Michael Waltrip on TV. Now we're talking like, I'm just as cool as he is. And that's pretty neat.
It is neat, dude, that they have hung around and became part of NASCAR still, to where younger drivers can, you know, meet them actually and talk to them a little bit, pick their brain or get advice or become friends even, and do that kind of stuff. Like we do that stuff in our industry, you know, and I consider myself still young yet in the asphalt industry. And when we go to our expos, the older guys are still there that we all still look up to, dude. And we're like, hey, can we like just eat dinner with you for just a minute? Like we would really like to pick your brain a little bit and just become friends. And you see that with you guys as well, that some of these older drivers are hanging out and becoming part of NASCAR still and are like icons, dude. Michael's an icon. Like that's all there is to it, dude. You know, so it works out good that way, I think, for you all. So when we talk about that retro theme, let's talk about your merch store real quick, because it's available, right? Like people can buy merch with that retro theme on it.
Yeah, we kicked off some throwback swag and retro hats, and I'm always rocking the flat bill, and that was like popular back then. I don't think for the same reasons. I think that's all I had back then. But so yeah, it's cool, man. Red, yellow, blue, bright colors. If you're a NASCAR fan, you probably heard of Darlington Raceway and this old racetrack, and they call it the Lady in Black. I mean, it's like this wild racetrack, old surface, and it kind of embraced the whole retro throwback deal probably 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And all 4 races that I've ran there, I've done a throwback to somebody. So it's cool because it always stood out as when I was like getting into the sport, I'm like, throwback, that's going to be awesome. So pretty pumped to be able to do somebody like Michael Waltrip this time. And the sponsors, they have to be okay with it. And every sponsor has their own branding. So for them to like change the color of their logo or completely change their paint scheme, not everyone's on board for that. So I've been fortunate.
Yeah, that works out good, man. I mean, you've had some, like in your career now, you've had some iconic sponsors and themes and themed vehicles. Like the grunt style one was epic, right? For a long time. The boys at American Pavement, that was epic. Rim Time this year. Danos, dude. Danos that's one of my favorite ones, dude. Seeing the kid with the bucket over his shoulder, like dude, or the fishing pole over his shoulder, dude. That's my favorite one. And I'll talk to Toothpick sometimes, and I'll be on there, and I'll be like, dude, like I love it. The what they do with the logo and what they do with the stuff, and how they are so creative with wordplay on their stuff, dude. It's like Toothpick. I know he has a fun time with it because they just give him free reign to do whatever, dude. When he's becoming an icon his damn self, that guy. So
that's the thing, you know, like we talk about this whole social media and things like that, and it's like, you know, people are cool in their own like way, right? So if you're willing to let yourself be yourself on social media, people are going to gravitate toward it because they're so used to like the corporate world and having to be like button up, and then they see folks that are doing things they want to do and they're like, that guy's just having fun, like enjoy it. And there's a time and place to be professional, but there's also like, hey, like just enjoy the moment and maximize what you got.
You know what ends up happening is people relate to you, like, you know, because in your world, you know, like not a lot of people are ever gonna be able to relate with you as far as racing goes, right? But you're sitting on a tailgate cracking one of those Montucky's and drinking, like almost everybody can relate to that, dude. So when we talk about Montucky in general, it's your TikTok, dude, that's been blowing up like crazy. You've been doing such a good job. We were talking the other day and I was like, dude, you're gonna catch me in no time. Like, dude, you're doing, which kudos. Like you have you got a great market to pull from, but it's still not easy no matter what. Like the time and effort and the cutting and the editing and doing everything, and just the idea of what you're gonna do in your skit, you're killing it, dude, on TikTok. How much fun are you having with that?
Well, I appreciate it, man. It is a lot of fun. You know, at first I was like, oh man, they come up with another platform that we got to go. I'm like, I already got
Yeah.
Instagram,
Yeah.
Facebook,
And you're
Twitter,
late to
like,
the game. You were like, I'm late to the game anyways. Like
yeah,
it ain't gonna catch.
like LinkedIn. I'm like, oh man, like what's next? So jump on TikTok and I'm like, man, this is pretty catchy. Like this is a lot of fun and met some cool people. Like that's where I originally met Dano
Yeah.
and pick off there. And but it's cool because that whole page, you know, you start liking videos and then it starts, this is how they rope you in.
It
And
is.
you're at 2 a.m. in the morning, like, oh my gosh, look at this.
Yeah.
You're just up all night. They're just giving you more of what you like. And it's really good in that way. And then you just post a cool video and you're like, oh, I might get a couple hundred views. The next thing you know, you wake up with 30,000. I'm like, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man. Then the next video is
There we
500.
go. That's right. It's like you guys are gonna have to call me sir now. Yeah, like you can talk to my publicist if you want me to come hang out with you today. Yeah, it's insane, dude. In you know, our TikTok, I have no idea that many people liked watching people spray paint and putting blacktop down and filling cracks and things, but
it's like, so I've sent your videos to a few of my buddies. I'm like, check this out. Like, it's just the most satisfying thing ever. I'm like, and it is catchy, man. You've had so many blow up, and then it's like the little things that you think are normal. Like you see that 100 times a day.
Yeah.
So you're like, whatever. Let's make a video. You know, I need some content. Then you wake up and you're like, people thought that was cool. Like,
I know, dude.
This stuff smells like crap, and I step in it every day. But
it worked out good. Yeah, apparently it's cool. Yeah, and we got I don't got any set next to me, but we got people that are like begging for, like, they want merch. So now I got to design stuff with our logos and some sayings and stuff, and we got different hats coming and stuff, and it's like this is my life. Like sometimes I cannot believe it. Like we're still here in Lone Rock, little tiny town in the middle of nowhere, still putting sealer down, but yet the podcast and TikTok and everything else in general is just going bonkers. And it's great to have that support, ain't it?
100%. And what I love, you posted the other day, it looked like you were set up with a booth, like a science fair project.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like 7 years ago or something.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
yeah. Did you see that like, table?
It's awesome. Like to see where you start and where you end up, it puts things in perspective.
Dude, I didn't have a sign. So I had to take one of those corrugated yard signs and I pulled the stake out of it and I taped it to the front of this fold out card table, dude. And that was the very first expo I ever went to. And I like had my booth there. And dude, I thought, oh yeah, man, this is going to be cool. I got there and I was like, I'm way unprepared, way unprepared. They gave me like a 20 by 20 spot and I might've took a 4x4 of it. So I was like, oh my God, dude. But you know, it's like anything else. You use believe me, next year I was prepared. We had a carpet that looked like a road and, you know, with the line all on it and stuff that looked perfect. And I was more prepared the second time, but yeah, dude,
with the logo on it.
Yeah, we did. I had Eli help him, but dude, he was asleep in the chair. Like he was so hyped for it, he fell asleep, and people came around. And then when it was over, I was like, "Come on, man, time to get up." And he's like, "Is this starting?" I'm like, "No, dude, it's over. Like you missed the whole thing, dude.
We're going home, bud."
Yeah. And then he loves them now, dude. I think that's why he likes them so much now, all those expos and stuff. But yeah, it's crazy to go from that little table, and my little table is your cart, right? Like that's where we've came, dude. And along the way, all we've done really is share our journey, and people relate to that journey, and then they become fans of it as well, and they want to see you succeed as well because they're kind of in that same boat. They started somewhere, they're trying to get somewhere, whether it's racing or asphalt or football or academia, whatever, dude. If you share it and you're genuine, people catch on. They love it, dude. You know, they become fans of you. So, you know, after your TikTok blowing up and you become a celebrity, and I don't even know if you're going to race anymore after the season, now that you're such a marketing genius when it comes to social media, you are going to come to Wisconsin this year. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So when are you going to be here?
I believe like mid-June.
Okay. Mid-June. You're going to be
got to link up.
Yes, we definitely will.
Gotta get you to the racetrack.
Oh yeah. That's at Road America.
Yeah, I think Is it like Elkhart Lake?
It is Elkhart
Yeah,
Lake.
yeah.
Yep, Elkhart Lake. It's Road America, dude. I've went to that racetrack a couple times, mainly because let me see if I can see. Like you see right there, that's
Oh,
Sebastian Bourdais and Eddie Jones. Like,
IndyCar.
they were, yeah, dude. Like it's an IndyCar track, so I'm excited to see you guys race there, and see how it goes. It'll be a fun time. A
It's
week.
a big track.
It is. It is. It's a big track. Like we usually like set up at one of the corners, and they're racing Indy cars, and it's legit 3 minutes before they're back to you.
Yeah.
And then they're like zoom, 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 zoom. You're like, well, now we can do something for a minute.
Get another hot dog.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a hot dog, crack another one, and we'll be back to it. So it'll be fun, dude. It's really fun to have you. I'm super hyped that some of these other tracks are getting some exposure, and NASCAR's wanting to mix it up a little bit, and I'm totally cool with that because it allows you guys to come to our neck of the woods. And honestly, unless you're willing to travel or do something, we might never get a chance to come see you. You know what I mean?
100%. Like there's NASCAR fans all over, and there's a lot of people that are like on the verge of being NASCAR fans. I think that's where we are in the world right now with motorsports. Is F1 like put on Netflix? Amazing. I started watching F1 because of it.
Dude.
Now people are like, hold up. F1 only comes to the US like, typically in COTA, Austin, Texas. And it's like, okay, well, I like motorsports now. Like,
yeah,
they didn't know anything. So now those folks are like, let's go to a NASCAR race. And I got people coming up to me getting an autograph and a Lewis Hamilton shirt. I'm like,
no way.
What is going on here?
Dude, it's bizarre.
My shirt's half that price. Okay?
Yeah. And I'm here. And you met me. I'm here. Yeah. Dude, it's wild. I think F1's kind of catching on too, that thing is super popular, because I'm pretty sure I seen an article that they might be doing an in-city Vegas race. That F1
on the streets.
Dude.
Clear the calendar. I'm ready to go.
Dude, that's real life, dude. They're gonna be running by the Bellagio.
Yeah.
We walk on that road when we're out there, dude. Like it's
I don't know if you can paint lines out there.
No. I bet if you hooked a striper to one of those F1 cars, you could do it real fast, though. I promise you that much. Yeah. No, they're not going to be legit. They're not going to be DOT spec, but they're going to be done real quick. Dude, I think it's a great time for motorsports. Like there was a great time, and it kind of, this is my opinion, it dipped. Then all of a sudden, it's a great time for motorsports. Like every style, dude. Like, that series on Netflix, just showing that it's more than just people going around in first, second, and third. Like there's a lot going into this. It shows you how much work is going in, the ins and outs, the politics of it, and how drivers come and go and do things. And that's a testament to you with your staying power there with Youngs. Like, it's not an easy gig. There's a lot of money in it. There's a lot of drama in it. There's expectations to perform. And, people are like, all right, this is actually where it's at. Football's great, but this is some exciting, dramatic shit that I want to keep watching.
Yeah. I mean, like when I talk to people that aren't necessarily racing fans, it's like, okay, imagine like being able to be excited for your football team losing. And they're like, what? And I'm like, it's so cut and dry, baseball, football, great sports, but like there's a winner and a loser. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's like a race within a race. Like your guy, you can say, hey, like F1. Lewis Hamilton, you expect him to win.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
But like Alonso, you're like, oh, he's in a team that he's going to run 10. And then he finishes third, and it's like, whoa!
I know, dude. I know it. You get so pumped, and that some of them, it's like you see that just podium is like, oh my God, dude. They're like, this is great for us. We're good for the next year. Like we gained so much ground. You're like third place in one race, and you guys are like, we're good for the year. Like, yeah, we're stoked. So it lets you know like there's a lot going on there, beyond that as well. So one of the questions that I had about that is, when you think about, whether it's Max Verstappen or whatever the heck it is, what do you think is, when you tell somebody, like, let's say you go to a room and no one knows who you are, Spence, all right, and you're like, they're like, oh, hi, this is Spencer, and I'm like, hey, what do you do? and you say, well, I'm a driver, I kind of race NASCAR. Like what is the typical reaction to that when you say that to somebody when you introduce yourself and they have no clue?
Yeah, it's always like awkward because you know, you go to those functions and you're like, they're like, oh, what do you do? And you're like, oh, yeah, race cars. Oh, what do you race? I'm like, oh, I race NASCAR. What? Like NASCAR? And then you got people that don't like NASCAR. They're like, oh, you just drive in a circle? And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Do they really say that? They don't say it. No way. They don't say that, do they?
Some people
Do they
do, but
really?
a lot of people, the typical response is like, "Oh, that's awesome," and then it
Yeah.
like leads to, you know, like, well, where do you go to
Nonsense.
the bathroom? You know?
Oh yeah. Where do you go to bathroom at? Or like, what are you gonna do when you're done racing? You know,
Yeah.
they're like, oh yeah, for sure. Can we just talk about right now? Like, I just want to talk about right now.
100%.
Do you got people that are like bullshit when you say that? Are they
Yeah,
like bullshit?
that happens. That was like early on. So like, I had just gotten in NASCAR. I was like 20, 21, and you're like still hanging out with like your college friends. So like I went to college for marketing and would still go to like hang out or go on the lake with people. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, you know, hey, Spencer, yeah, cool, what's up? And then like some, you know, you're just like going through the motions and someone's like, oh, you know, he's a NASCAR driver. And then it's like everyone looks over and you're like, yeah, no, no way. Like,
Yeah.
pull up your Instagram. And I'm like, ah, like,
Yeah.
I'm good, man.
Yeah. They're
And
like,
then,
if that was true, he would have told us. Like, right? You
yeah,
know, they're like, well, I really didn't want to bring that into the room, but yeah, I guess I will. Yeah. Dude, now the marketing makes sense. Now that TikTok's bomb, now that makes sense, dude. Now your TikTok's going off. So now I put two and two together, Spence. You know, the more we talk, the more I learn about you, Spencer.
same, brother.
Yeah, now I'm gonna have to end up. I might have to hire you one day. We might have to work together if we're gonna keep doing this
We'll
kind of
have
stuff.
more logos on the back of that deal.
Yeah, dude, everywhere. We'll have it everywhere. We get into a Blacktop Banter building, it'll be everywhere. Dude, one thing that I have really enjoyed about you and I becoming friends is your mom and dad. Like, dude, they're the most humble, sweetest couple of people I have ever met. When your dad posts and he said, my partner in crime, and he's got your mom on there, I'm like, dang, I'm like, dang, like, dude, we're for sure gonna see like the 50-year anniversary, all loving together, and Spence being there with his family, and then they're gonna be there. I tried getting them to do a hashtag, that's my Boyd, and it's like,
Yeah.
your dad already has like 8 hashtags, so I'm really trying to like get them to be like, all right, this one's worthy, like this one's worthy, and get there. What's it like, dude, when you're out there and you have your parents there and you're in awe already and you know how proud they are of you? What's that like when your mom and dad's there, when you're on getting ready to roll out?
Yeah, man, I love it. They are really hardworking folks, and they go to probably 8 races a year, which sounds like a lot, but I race about 30. So
Yeah.
it's really cool to have them there on pit road. Like that's the most like really like exciting feeling. You know, if you've been to a NASCAR race or you're up close and personal, which we're going to get you there.
Yeah.
You do the national anthem and the prayer, and then you're all like high fiving your crew, getting ready to jump in, and it's like, boom, there's my mom and dad. Like,
Yeah.
you know, give them a hug, and my mom's always like super teary eyed and like ready, like pumped up, and then we get home and they're like, "Are we on TV?" Like,
Yeah, then they want to see.
They're
Yeah.
like, "Did they catch us?" And,
Dude, they're always looking fresh. Like they
yeah,
all, dude, they love, you know, that like they're always looking fresh. Your dad and your mom. I mean, they take it in. They didn't go fool me, dude. They take it in. They're enjoying this ride just as much as you are, man.
It's their 30th anniversary today, so that's why I got the college shirt.
Oh, I got you. Looking good. We're gonna go to. Oh, I won't keep you. We'll get there. We'll get peeled through this, and then make sure you tell your dad that's my boy. Like,
Will do.
like that. Like dad, just, you know, let Marvin just for one post have some glory with that's my boy, or that's our boy. Yeah. Let's talk about the next race. Is it Darlington? Is that the next one?
It is.
Yeah. So we got a big wide end on one end, and then we got a narrow end on the other end, right?
Yeah.
Hey, man, don't think I don't know what I'm talking about, bro.
You know what's up.
I know. So when we talk about the adjustment to the vehicle, that's different because you have two different bank turns, right? Two different degree turns. Do you find the happy medium there? And you're like, all right, this works on both ends. How does that work at that track, dude?
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal, right? The goal is to have it be fast and like comfortable with speed on both ends, but it's easier said than done. Turns 1 and 2 are probably the easiest. I mean, you drive in really deep into one, let it slide up the racetrack, kind of roll around the top, heavy in the gas. So
Okay.
you like lift, getting through turn 1, drive it up the hill into turn 2, point it down, and drive off. And it's like, okay, it's a little sketchy, but you're heavy in the throttle.
Yeah.
Well, in 3 and 4, you drive off in there and you're hauling the mail down the back straightaway. You get off in there and you lift because you have to. Like, you want to hold it wide open, but you can't. And then it's just you're along for the ride. It's like, okay, there's the wall up there, and you're just sliding up.
Yeah.
And then it like catches and turns, and you feed it back to throttle, but you can't just give it 100%. You're like 50,
out of turn 4, you mean? Yeah.
And it wants to like jump sideways and go to the inside wall every lap. So and pavement.
Yeah, you need good pavement, which hence is why we talk about it. Has there been any new tracks? Did anything get repaved this year? And it don't seem like so far you've been on anything that's got repaved.
Atlanta was the only thing that got paved.
It did.
But at the same time, they added 10 degrees of banking.
Oh, really? They changed
so
it.
It's super high banked, and the asphalt is already like buckling.
Oh, really? It's pushing. Yeah.
They're not happy.
That's not good, dude. Yeah, and that some of that blacktop that's been down now on some of those tracks is 20 years, if not more, 25 years. Like, they do a good job taking care of it, but it's in place and it's hard. Like that, some of that new stuff, it's soft, and that's mixed design now. There's so much recycled asphalt going into mixed design. I was wondering about this, right? Because I think about how hot that track is, how hard you guys are pushing into it, and then the reaction of that heat with some of this asphalt that has recycled material. Now it's great. I mean, it's fine for us as long as you seal coat. It protects this asphalt that already has been used before. Therefore, the rock has already absorbed some of the oils there, so it has a hard time binding as well. And I was wondering about that on some of these tracks as we're getting into using recycled asphalt more, if it was going to affect you guys, because when I see the tires when they get off the car, there's rock in it. And I know where that rock came from, right? So I'm like, dude, is it going to be, I was kind of wondering if the tires were going to be worse, faster, because so much more rock would pick up in some of these tracks and things as recycled blacktop goes on. And the other thing is that you're talking, that buckling is because the structure of it isn't what it used to be.
Yeah.
I mean,
for us, they keep making the tires a harder compound.
Okay.
To help with that, because the softer obviously grips more, lower tire pressure, and it like wants to tear the track apart.
Yeah, dude. What I was thinking is that the softer it is and the softer the blacktop is nowadays, I mean, they compact it really, really well, but I know that it's not what it used to be, dude. So it's like, wow, how's this going to end up? So when we talk about Darlington, I've raced it on, listen, man, I've raced Darlington a lot, but it was on NASCAR heat in your truck, right?
Perfect.
That second turn, when the tires start to go, you can hit that outside. That back end kind of wants to come loose a little bit on that second turn, right? It wants to kick out. Is there anything that you guys do to counter that kind of tail action to the best of your ability on that turn right there? Is there one thing where you guys are like, okay, this is the adjustment we got to make because this is going to happen. We know it's going to happen.
Yeah. So, I mean, throughout the race, as the track like heats up and gets more slick, they'll raise the track bar to adjust kind of the angle of the chassis on the wheels.
Yep.
To adjust kind of the pressure of that and the angle to help the tire not slip as much. But kind of going into it, knowing that that's going to happen, we started running we call it a rubbered up right rear. So the spring in the right rear has little rubber pieces in between the coils.
Oh, okay.
And it's called like a progressive spring. So it'd take like a 300-pound spring, and the harder you push it, the stiffer it gets.
All right. So it's going to press in on that side even more coming out of that turn. Damn, dude. There's so much. People don't realize there's so much. They think you guys that's just hooked up. It's the same truck. We race it every time. That's just what it is. There's so much. They just don't get it. Dude, I appreciate every time you come on the podcast because we always learn something more, and it opens our eyes in a different perspective, and you're able to give us an inside look at this. We follow you along. People talk to me about Spencer Boyd all the damn time. Most of the time they forget about me and ask about Spencer. Dude, I really appreciate you being on here. Where do people find your social, Spencer? TikTok, of course, and then on Instagram too. You're pretty active there. Where can people find you here as we're closing out the podcast tonight?
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate it. You're rocking an awesome shirt right there.
Oh yeah, boy. You know, I gotta I stay up to date.
At my old place, I had your magnet on the side of the fridge.
Oh, really? I gotta get you a new hat. That's my bad, dude. I gotta get you a banner hat and a Wisco hat. That's my bad. But here's the thing: I didn't know where you were living, dude.
Yeah,
new house, dude.
Good. Yeah, don't mail it to the old
address. That's it. I will. I'll get you a shirt and a hat and stuff. But what about your socials before I lose track?
You can follow me on Instagram, Spencer Boyd PR, Twitter, just my name, Spencer Boyd, Facebook, Spencer Boyd Racing fan page, and TikTok, Spencer Boyd NASCAR. It's pretty much different on everything, but
that's okay, dude. That's okay. That don't matter none, dude. People are gonna find you. You got a one of a kind name, Spencer Boyd. So it's kind of like Marvin Jones. Well, I'm the third, so it's a three of a kind name. But what's a
you know where to find the other ones.
That's right. Dude, I really appreciate you being on here. Before we go, I got a couple things I want to do. I want you to give. I don't know if I've ever asked you for it, but I would like to. You come from a world that not a lot of people get to be involved in. If there's one piece of advice, general advice about life that you could give, what do you think that would be?
Man, I would say racing has definitely taught me, not to burn a bridge. Honestly, the guy that you drive for today, that you quit or leave, you could end up driving for a year or two later. And same with partners, sponsors come and go. They may take a break economically and come back. So in this sport, it's a fast-paced industry. And just not burning bridges, being thankful for every network that you have.
Yeah, dude. And that's why you and I connect, right? And we keep connecting. That TikTok network is just like real life network. Like you get to talk to somebody, you kind of work with them a little bit, and hopefully down the line you get to work together again. It makes everybody better, right? Like it just makes everybody better, their repertoire better, and their marketing better, Spencer Boyd. All right. So the last thing before we go, and before I let you get to dinner with your parents' thing, I want to make sure, happy anniversary too, mom and dad. Let's do a pod deck real quick. It's going to be hopefully, dude, I hope you get a real good one. The one the other day was is a hot dog a sandwich or not, and why? Dude, to me that was the best one I'd ever dug out of here. And it was a hard one too. The guy had a hard time answering that one. All right, so I'm just going to show you. We're going to pull one out. All right.
I like the start of that one.
Yeah. All right, Spence. All right. How much would someone have to pay you to eat a live spider?
Ooh, man, it depends. Like, I need some furniture in this place. So.
Yeah.
Live spider.
A live one, like legit. Like, how much money would it take? Like, we're gonna be greedy, but also practical with this answer. How much money would it take for you to eat a live spider?
$25,000.
All right. I was gonna say, well, it must tell you about where I live in rural America. 10 grand would have been all right with me. I would have. You know, I would have recorded it because that would have been viral for sure. You watching me eat a live spider. Cool.
Can you chew it, or you just gotta swallow it?
No, you gotta chew it. Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta eat it. Yeah. Okay. Now we see whose morals are a little higher than the other one, I guess. Dude, thanks so much. What is it?
25 grand would be nice right now.
Dude, I know. You'd be furnitured out. I know, dude. You'd have everything you needed out there for sure. It'd be nice to have, leather furniture, big old TV.
Yeah.
I would have to have an inflatable hot tub. You could have a legit hot tub in the back with what we do, with our choices on money. But hey, it is what it is. Dude, thanks so much for being back with us again. We'll have to catch up here again. We're going to make this a yearly thing. Hopefully we can catch up to you one more time here at the end of the year or going into the end of the year when you're on break again. Dude, you're a fan favorite here. People love seeing you. We love watching you. We love watching what you do. You represent us very, very well, and we all appreciate that a lot.
Thank you, man. Well, I appreciate you having me on, and it's always fun catching up on social, and you keep doing your thing, man. It's awesome to see the growth.
You too, man. You too. And I'll get you some stuff, and then I'll snap you a little bit and remind you to tell your dad that's our Boyd. Cool. All right. Thank you, sir. All right. For myself and Spencer Boyd, who drives the number 12 Young's Motorsports Chevy, this is Blacktop Banter. This is episode 58. Here, we speak asphalt. We did that a little bit, Spence, me and you, right?
100%, yeah.
Yeah. And as always, I want you to seal it, pave it, stripe it, and kill it. Peace, y'all. Thank you very much.